Hey guys, hopefully everyone is doing well. Today's target is to understand second part of cash flow statement. As you know that we have already understood what are different sources of cash and we have called them sources or inflow. Then we understood how cash will go out, how cash will go how cash will flow out. It is called application of cash, or we can call it outflow. The difference would be considered your ending cash. All right. And in previous lectures, we were continuously sharing that cash from operation would be discussed in next class. Now, here we are going to understand how cash will come from operations or cash will go out during operations. For that, please understand the word debtors. Debtor mean the person or organization from whom amount is receivable. So the person or an organization from whom amount is receivable. You can call it anyone from whom amount is receivable. And you have the concept, we may have opening debtors at start and we may have closing debtors at the end of period. So you will let me know whether cash in hand is increasing or decreasing. Say in start you were having debtors 1000, at the end of period you do have only 800 worth of debtors. So now let me know how much cash is present in your hand. Or it may be possible you have lost your cash. Both possibilities are present. Please let me know how much cash is present at the end of period. At end. So understand again. At start, 1000 was the amount which was receivable. 1000 was the amount at starting of the period. At the end of period, you do have 800 worth of amount which is still receivable. I'm using the word still. It means where 200 had gone, we will automatically understood that 200 amount has been received. 200 amount has been received. So it means the difference of opening and closing debtor 200 is the cash which is in your hand. So I'm very hopeful that you people have understood. Here we are putting the sign. Whenever you see opening debtors, you will put the sign of add and put the sign of add, and whenever you see closing debtors, you will put the sign of less. This is the story which we were willing to learn, and now we have decided whenever you see opening debtors, you will add. When you will see closing debtor, you will post less. Now the same story would be all other current assets. What you will do, same story for all other current asset. And you do know that in accounting ratio we understood stock is current asset, bill receivable is current asset, debtors are current asset, cash is current asset, stock is your current asset. For all current asset, you will be dealing with the same category. You will add opening asset and will subtract closing assets. All right. So we want to know cash from operation. First thing what we have understood is what to add. So here we are going to mention it, and there are few things which we will going to subtract, and that we will be writing over here. Two things we have decided: when it is opening debtors or opening stock or opening stock, again I have written stock, debtors, and if there is any current asset. Normally current assets are cash in hand, cash at bank, let's say bill receivable, notes receivable, account receivable. All right, I may write over here as well. So what you were doing, this stock was written again. I'm going to erase it. So you may have bill receivable, or notes receivable, etc. So there are several other current assets, but usually these three items we usually use: debtors, bill receivable, stock, and cash in hand. All right, what you have decided, you will add opening. So here all opening current assets would be put, and you will subtract all closing current assets. So we are creating a formula where few things would be added. Please excuse me. My throat is not, I'm not feeling well, but I am trying to complete it. So hopefully you will excuse me for this inconvenience. And few things we will subtract. Two things, two elements, two features we have decided what to add or what to less. And first of this is opening asset. We are putting the same structure over here. And secondly, we have decided closing current assets. So what was discussed: stocks, debtors, cash, bill receivable, note receivables, all these are considered current assets. So we have decided all opening current assets would be added, all closing current asset would be subtracted. We have written the name of closing current asset under less. And we have learned from this. Another lesson, let's see if we are talking about creditors, just opposite to debtor. Creditor means the person or organization to whom amount is payable. The person to whom amount is payable. Similarly, we were having opening creditors 1000 and closing creditors as 800. Okay, so we want to know how much cash is going out or in. Now you will relate it with the definitions. Opening creditors mean 1000 was the amount which was payable at start of the period. So initially you were liable to pay 1000, and at the end 800 worth of amount is still payable. 800 amount is still payable. What does that mean? It means, now listen again. Creditor means the person to whom amount is payable. So 1000 you were liable to pay, and you are still liable to pay 800. What does that mean? Cash has been paid. It means minus 200 would be considered. How? Because cash had gone outside. Cash has gone outside. That is why your creditors have been decreased. I need your attention, and I'm repeating the same for the third time. Look, at start you were liable to pay 1000, but at the end you have seen 800 worth of creditors, 800 worth of amount is still payable. So where 200? That means 200 we have paid. At start loan was 1000, at end loan is just 800. It means some part of the loan has been paid, and that part is 200. How loan would be paid? When cash will go out. Cash will go out. It means 200 cash has been paid. Cash had gone out. So that is why whenever opening debtors, you will put sign of minus over here. And whenever you will see closing creditors, you will put the sign of plus. And here you can see that if you want to prove it, we have decided opening creditors would always be having minus. So let's say we are putting minus 1000 and closing creditors were 800. Here you come to know minus 200. How it had come? Only when you will put minus sign with the opening creditors. So creditors are current liabilities, as you know that we have already understood in previous chapter of accounting ratio. Creditors, notes, payable, accounts payable, etc. So normally these are current liabilities, and we have decided it if opening current assets are written at adding side or plus side, and here we have decided that closing creditors or closing current liabilities have plus sign. So what we would do, plus sign closing current liabilities. In the similar way, we are going to put a border over here. Opposite to this, what would be subtracted? Here we have decided that opening creditors or opening current liabilities have minus sign. So you will put opening current liabilities as with subtraction, deduction, or with the sign of negative. Lesser, we will subtract opening current liabilities. Alright, now you want to know how much cash we have used from, how much cash is used in operations. This what we are discussing. This is cash from operations. Let it be put in brackets, and we have discussed it should be right. So cash from operations, we have four elements related to this. You will add opening current asset, you will add closing current liabilities, you will subtract closing current asset, you will subtract opening current liabilities, and finally the answer which would you have would be cash from operations. So I'm sure that at start we have discussed that in cash from operations, this you will get from this formula. You will add opening assets, add closing current liabilities, you will subtract closing current asset, and will subtract opening current liabilities. It means there are two things which are being added, two things which are being subtracted. Or you can simply write down this formula in horizontal type. Okay, let me have it. So here you will start with opening cash. So cash at starting of the period was opening cash. Then please see here we have used the sign of add. What you will add? Opening current assets. And you will also be adding second thing, closing current liabilities. Then you will subtract what? Closing current assets, and you will also subtract opening current liabilities, and what you will get would be cash from operations. There would be several questions which will deal only cash from operations. 3-4 questions we will do cash from operations, and how you will calculate. You will take opening cash and then you will add two elements, you will subtract two elements, you will get cash from operations, and that's all. And there would be some questions where we will make full-fledged cash flow statement. This means not only current asset, rather fixed assets would also be involved. Not only current liabilities, rather fixed liabilities would also be involved. In this way, you have understood that cash from operations is associated with current assets and current liabilities, and these sources are for fixed assets and fixed liabilities. As I have already written, look, fixed assets and fixed liabilities here. You can see that fixed assets, fixed liabilities, fixed asset and fixed liabilities. When cash you are receiving from fixed assets and liabilities, when cash you are paying for fixed assets and liabilities. Cash from operations, you will calculate with this single line, these capital letters, and then you will write this cash over here. After which you will add cash from fixed asset and current liabilities, and you will subtract application of cash upon fixed asset and liabilities, and finally you will get cash at end. This is our total cash flow statement, in which we understood that what are those sources with which you can receive cash. We can receive cash from current asset and current liabilities. We can receive cash from fixed asset and fixed liabilities. And then we will discuss how cash will go out. Cash can be paid for current asset and current liabilities. Cash can be paid for fixed assets and fixed liabilities. Different examples we have taken. I am requesting you to please revise these 2-3 minutes where we have discussed. Alright, I am sharing with you again. This whole phenomena of cash flow statement is associated with one point, where cash is going out and from where cash is coming in. This has two parts: cash from operation, that means current assets and current liabilities. From what are those current assets and current liabilities? From whom amount has been received. What are those current assets and current liabilities with which cash has been paid? And then we will see sources and application, where we will see fixed asset and fixed liability. This is second part. Fixed asset and fixed liabilities, from where you have received or paid cash. In this way, our total operations would be completed. Half part is associated with current asset and current liabilities, and we will see cash gone or cash received. Half part is associated with fixed asset and fixed liabilities, where we will see cash is paid or cash is received. I will try to make this diagram so that you would have in mind. Cash flow statement has two parts. One from operations, second from sources and application. From operation, we will be related with current assets and current liability. Sources and application are related with fixed assets and fixed liabilities. And I have told you that if you will sell your fixed asset, you will receive cash. If you will purchase your fixed asset, you will pay cash. In the similar manner, when you will issue your capital, you will receive cash. When you will pay back debentures, you will be when you are issuing your capital, you are receiving cash. When you are issuing your debenture, you are receiving cash. When you are paying back your debentures, it means cash will also be flown. All right, these sources and applications are related with fixed asset and fixed liabilities. These operations are related with current asset and current liabilities. I am giving you an example that if you will issue debentures, you will receive cash. When you will redeem your debenture, redemption of debentures, you will pay cash. Several fixed asset and fixed liabilities. I have just given you an example of fixed liabilities, and here you have received cash from debtors, one example, or paid cash to creditors. This is another example. So cash flow statement, how you will be defining where cash had gone. There are two different sources, operations and then application and sources. Operations are associated with current asset liabilities. Sources are associated with fixed asset and liabilities. There you will judge whether you are receiving cash or you are paying cash. So I'm sure that with this introduction, when we will start question, it will surely be very helpful. I'm requesting you, if you want to have cash from operation, please revise this formula, what to add and what to less. This formula is important for you. For the time being, in next lecture, we will be solving questions related to cash from operations. You are requested to please note it down, these signs. Opening current assets are added, closing current liabilities are added, closing current assets are subtracted, and opening current liabilities are subtracted. Please make this diagram by yourself and revise it for several times. Alright guys, it's time to end our lecture, and thank you very much for your time. It's time to say goodbye. Allah Hafiz.